Dave!
Right, now we've got the obligatory comedy clip out of the way, it's time to get serious. Regarding your video, the third phase of the YouTube Skeptic community, I pretty much agree with all the points you made. I myself am an upstart YouTube content creator. Even though I uploaded my first video just over a year ago, I've only done a handful. And I'm still kind of finding my feet and figuring out my own style. As I've slowly grown more confident in my art and content, I would scan the dark recesses of YouTube to try and find something to reply to in my own special way. Preferably something that's not already been debunked by multiple skeptics and anti-SJWs already. And I've found it harder and harder to find material, just like Andy Warski said. However, the bedroom feminist that Baring loves so much, and the snowflake Tumblrites that Undoomed and Suit Yourself verbally rape, not to mention all the crap by Francesca Ramsey, Lacey Green, MTV stuff and BuzzFeed crap, well, it's all just low-hanging fruit, to be honest. And as a result, these moral busybodies have said all they can, used every insult to make us look like the bad guys, and now they're out of ammo. So of course they're becoming less and less common, down to the fact that people like yourself, Sargon, and all the others I've mentioned, plus countless more that have battered these people senseless with facts, logic, reason, and good old common sense. The fight against creationists was barely a warm-up, and the war against the SJW feminists and trans-trenders was nothing more than a practice match. So there was no way the skeptic community was ever going to lose that one, not on the field of YouTube anyway. I think Phase 3 will have to be fought equally in the physical world as well as online, and I don't mean physical fighting, obviously. I know you mentioned the college and university indoctrination in the video in question, plus what you've covered before, reading letters from people who've been forced to take social justice courses, and the fallout from that. That's something that we'll have to take to Parliament or state senators. Here in the West, we are lucky enough to have separate church and state, and the same should go for identity politics and academia. So lobbying for laws where students shouldn't have to pledge allegiance to the 100+ genders and check their white privilege just so they can get their chemistry degree is something we might have to do. There's also the rise of groups like Antifa, even though the public at large is very much against them and they'll never be popular. They still have a lot of traction, and the reputation alone has been enough for certain venues to cancel music gigs when they threaten to close down shows. And so these two subjects alone are going to take a lot more than just keyboard warriors and people ranting on YouTube. It's going to take real-world proactive action. So we're going to have to look further afield than just Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, since the throttling, shadow bans and demonetization are going to make things a lot more difficult for content creators like ourselves, as well as people who don't necessarily make content but are the life's blood who share videos and articles through their own circles. Minds is a good place to start, and we need more people over there, not just people who have similar opinions to ourselves. Everything you said about this upcoming media war I think is spot on, but I'm going to add my thoughts to it and expand upon it. I believe it will be the bloodiest battle yet. Unlike the previous two phases, and even fights we're still fighting, I have no doubt that this time we're going to suffer casualties. Just like the SJWs and feminists with the letter-writing campaigns to get people fired from their real-life jobs, the mainstream media are also not above fighting dirty. Scandalous hit pieces can only work so far, and the MSM also have some pretty deep pockets. Recently we've learned that even the most trusted and respected skeptics have their price, and some might even jump ship. We could also lose some to actual real-world harassment, or even more cases like Gregory Allen Elliott. Of course he won eventually, but imagine if that were to happen to some of the larger content creators. Up to 3 years fighting a court case for the right to be online. Of course I'm aware of how far-fetched this all sounds, and I honestly don't want to come across as an Alex Jones type. But let's be honest. If someone said to you 5 years ago that we'd be making a stand against primary schools and grade schools teaching if they're white, they're inherently bad, and that there's more than 2 genders, we'd say they were fucking nuts! So anyway, thanks for listening, whether you're Dave Cullen or not, and leave a comment below to add your thoughts to the situation. Speak to you soon. Bye!